people here today are here to speak to you about the bills that you are advocating for. So our first speaker is going to be Sen DiPalma. You all know him well. He has been a strong ally and advocate for people with disabilities, people with behavioral health conditions, our elders in our community. So with no further ado, here's Sen DiPalma.
Tina, thank you very much. It's good to be back again today. I want to first of all thank you all, each of you, and for being here again this year. We did what we did last year, and with my colleague here and collaborator, who will hear from next, Representative Casimiro, with getting the wage review and setting in the budget last year, Article 12, Section 7 and Section 8. It happened because of you folks and the work of that Representative Spears was Tina Spears last year. Now Representative Spears this year was able to pull together and coordinate a group of many groups to make that happen. That was critical. So well done. So that work's underway. So why are we here? That should be it, right? Well, it's not. The work's not done yet. It wasn't planned to be done yet. It's in process. As an engineer, still an engineer, I'm never going to stop being an engineer. It's facts, it's data, it's the context, and then it's the personal stories, which you'll hear in a minute. But that work is ongoing now, of collecting the facts, getting the data, doing the review in the context of all the various health and human services that the state provides. Whether it's paid by Medicaid, and 362,533 was the last number from a month or so ago, the folks, the individuals in child welfare, wherever they are, it's critical that that investment get made. But the rate review is not going to happen until the next budget cycle. What do we do in the interim? What we've done this past year because of your work was to get the rates up to allow the individuals, and I say that very professionally and very empathetic and sympathetically, the individuals who need those services, to have the individuals to provide those services to them. Some of you folks do that today, so thank you for doing that. The only way we can do that is to compensate you appropriately. We do that, and I'm sure each of you have one of these, right? You all have one of these. And the key word is the word on the bottom. Work from the bottom up. And as Representative Spears would always say when she was in different roles, when we value the work that you do, we will compensate you appropriately. I'm here to say we value the work that you do. We need your help to help us in ensuring that we're making those investments again this year prior to the rate review and rate setting coming out. Because in order for individuals to live at home, seniors to live at home, individuals with disabilities to live a fullest life that they can and want to, children, babies, adolescents, and child welfare to be able to thrive in that environment, we need you, the workers, the health and human service workers, to do that. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to partner with my colleague who will speak to in a minute. And also, we're glad Christina's here again this year. A great voice for all of you. And I know there's other folks that will be speaking as well. So I'm going to turn it back and turn it over to Rep. Casimiro, I think is next, to bring some words. I do want to bring words from the Senate. It's unfortunate the Senate is not here today. Our colleague, Senator Mary Ellen Goodwin, passed away last weekend, a senator for 35 years, 1998 until now. People talked about Ted Kennedy being a lion of the Senate. I think Mary Ellen was a giant of our Senate. A big void, a void to be filled. I think she's with us here today. So thank you. I'm glad to be here, glad to move this forward. Rep. Casimiro, over to you.
Thank you. I want to thank you all for being here today, the advocates, the clients, my colleagues in government. I know that Representative Noré is up there, and he was a co-sponsor on the bill. And I see Brandon Potter over there, Representative Potter. Did I miss any of my colleagues? If I did, just raise your hand. But we are at a health and human services crisis right now. Everything is going to come tumbling down on us on July 1st if we don't act right now. It will be a health and human services tsunami. The need for mental health services for children has increased dramatically over the last years. I see it every single day in school. Demand for services has soared since the pandemic. resulting in waitlist and overburdened and already strained network of community and residential service providers. Studies have shown that untreated mental health problems can have lifelong consequences for children, leading to poor academic performance, social isolation, and yes, suicide. Decades of disinvestment have left the Rhode Island Human Services and Behavioral Health community in an appalling state. Recent events have shown that service providers cannot wait any longer. We need help, and we need it now. Just this month, a 15-year-old in DCYF custody who recently ran away from her foster home died after being given drugs suspected to have been laced with fentanyl by a 34-year-old man. Another senseless child death. 2 children in state care recently violently assaulted a DCYF caseworker, spraying that person with bleach and giving them a concussion. When is enough actually enough? Worse still is that we know these events can be prevented by increasing funding and providing greater access to early intervention and treatment. We can prevent many of these negative outcomes and improve the overall quality for our children. But we have been sounding this alarm for years. Unfortunately, many families do not have access to adequate mental health services due to long wait lists, a lack of staff, and a lack of programming. As a result, many children do not receive the help that they need until their conditions are severe. They're at critical, severe condition. That's why I'm joining my friends in the service provider community today to urge my colleagues in the General Assembly to support a bill I submitted with Senator DiPalma. And I love working with Senator DiPalma. It's always so easy to get things done. H5987 and its companion legislation S782 will provide a 10% rate increase in FY 2024 for all home and community-based providers. These funds would help stabilize staffing levels, ensure adequate and safe care of residents, and combat surging cost increases caused by inflation. We must also ensure we provide sufficient funding in this year's budget for contract reprocurement through DCYF. This is a crucial moment that will require bold action, and these bills are bold. This will require bold action and a significant investment, not only in this year's budget, but every year's budget. We need to identify reliable and sustainable funding streams so Rhode Island children and their families no longer need to rely on one-time fixes year after year. There is no greater investment that we can make but in the futures of our children and our families. There's no greater investment. These investments will have a significant impact on the well-being of our children and the overall health of our communities for years to come. We got the rate review work done over the goal line last year. It was because of all the advocacy work that you all did. And for us to have that happen again, we need you to do it again. We need you to advocate so we can get this over the goal line this year. So thank you all for being here. I also want to recognize Representative Agello, who's standing in the back of the room. And I want to introduce my colleague, Patrick Crowley from the AFL-CIO, and he's going to say a few words as well. Patrick?
Thank you, Rep. Casimiro, Senator DiPalma, for your leadership on this. My name is Patrick Crowley. I'm the Secretary-Treasurer of the Rhode Island AFL-CIO. And on behalf of our 80,000 members across the state, I had one thing to say to you. Thank you. Thank you for your dedication, for your compassion, for your empathy, for showing up and doing 1,000 different things every day that are never going to make the newspapers, that'll never make the TV news. But you still do it because the compassion, empathy, and dedication that you have for your clients and patients is an inspiration to all of us. But you know what? Thank yous don't pay the rent. Thank yous don't put food on your family's tables. And thank yous aren't enough to keep this type of work going through all of the hardships and struggles that you and the people that you care for have to deal with every single day. So finally, let me say thank you for being here. You have a voice, and it's your voice that is important to be heard. You need to use it. You need to have it loud and clear so that every member of the House of Representatives, every member of the Senate, and the governor's office know that these bills are important to pass. Not because it's just the right thing to do, but because the state of Rhode Island is a better state if we pass this legislation. Thank you very much. Make sure you get your voice heard, and let's get this over the finish line this year. Thank you.
Patrick has always been a fierce advocate for workers, and we thank you for your testimony today. Now I'd like to introduce Devin Malkai, who is a clinician from Child and Family Service, and that he would like to speak about his work.
My name is Devin Malkai, and I'm a family center treatment practitioner for Child and Family. I work with a team of 6 other. I work with a team of 6 other passionate people whose main goals is to help families who are at their lowest get their extra support to survive. We use an evidence-based model where we focus on systemic trauma treatment. I've been in this field for years and I've seen the impact us professionals can make on families. And when you have someone so passionate about helping people, you look to build them up and keep them around so they can impact as many families as possible. To continue to grow as a team together is essential to be able to support one another along with the families that we serve every day. The passion slowly starts to fade when dealing with the financial struggles that comes with this position. It becomes a disservice to all the communities when you lose someone important because they have to leave their job fields to be able to support their own families. Families feel helpless and defeated, and we can turn that into learning skills to thrive and teach each other, to put an end to generational patterns that some families can't seem to shake. Studies show that youth and families who successfully engage in services take fewer days to reunify, they have less time in the juvenile offenses post-treatment, or reduced days in placement in community detentions, less likely to experience incarceration, and children who received FCT, family center treatment, were significantly more likely to remain in the home throughout services. The reward that's felt when a family can not only get by without the support, but change their lives and thrive on their own with new obstacles is why we do this job. We are a 24/7 support and we never stop working through the pandemic. Our job is recognized as essential, but we aren't being funded in that way. It's unfortunate we are stuck in this situation where we are financially struggling to support our own families to help others. Eventually, that hardship will inevitably impact our ability to fully support the families we work with. Support from members of the General Assembly for the Senate and the House bills for bridge funding would demonstrate that our work is truly recognized as essential and would keep the passion, hard-working individuals, such as myself and my team members, in the field that directly helps and empowers families in Rhode Island.
She is a case manager, and she is also from Child and Family of Rhode Island. Heather?
Good afternoon. My name is Heather Bishop, and I am the case manager for Child and Family Supportive Housing Program. Our program provides transitional housing and case management for 9 mothers and their 19 children within a small community of support. In my role, I work with families who are active with DCYF, who have histories of domestic violence and trauma, mental health and substance abuse challenges. I serve these families by helping them to meet their basic physiological needs, which allows them to pursue goals in the workforce and in higher education. Our mission is to define each client's strengths and build upon them to empower them towards self-sufficiency. I chose this profession knowing that the pay was low, but knowing that service is my passion. I have the skills to help others to acknowledge their worth and their value in our society. In my family, we often joke, my husband makes the money and I make the difference. But with the changes in the workforce, my desire to pursue higher education, and recent inflation rates, it is not something that we can take lightheartedly any longer. The impact of the work that we do every day and the value it adds to the health of communities and the economy of Rhode Island needs to be recognized. I urge the members of the General Assembly to support the Senate and House bills. The bridge funding will stabilize wages and keep dedicated and passionate workers like myself in this field so we are able to continue making a difference.
Thank you, Heather. I would like to now introduce Colette Wrinkle. I don't know if I pronounced that right, so I apologize if I did. She is also from Child and Family Service, and she is going to speak about her experience and why her life is better today because of the services she's received from Child and Family.
My name is Colette Wrinkle. I'm a single mother of two, and I'm a survivor of domestic violence. My children's father took my self-worth, my confidence, and he almost took my life multiple times, which led me to also attempt to take my life. I had almost succeeded in doing so, but my guardian angel, my mother, told me to keep fighting, that I was meant for bigger things, and that my babies needed me. So I decided to take my life back. I began my journey of finding my mental and physical health in July 2021, and I was able to lose 50 pounds in 3 months, and that gave me the confidence to leave my abuser in October 2021. I never looked back because I found my worth in fitness. I took that passion and I became a personal trainer to then create my own personal training business. Today, my children and I found the power to thrive with so much help we received from supportive housing. After my abuser was arrested and we were referred to DCYF, I was put into the FCCP, I apologize, with Child and Family, where my first caseworker who helped me in the search to finding sanctuary and housing for me and my children. It's my hope to help others do the same and to provide the resources needed in order to do so. I'd like to thank Child and Family for all the support and care they have shown us every step of the way and for making a better future for our children. But most importantly, I'd like to thank my supportive housing director, Heather, for being our source of relief and safety. She is the reason my babies and I are thriving. She made our achievements possible with her dedication and support. Without Heather and this FCCP, I apologize again, guys, this cycle would continue, and they deserve the world and more than we could give them in return. But I urge you to fight for them like they fight for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Colette. That was an amazing story, and that's just one of thousands and thousands of stories that each and every day the home and community-based providers are doing each and every day. So let's remember that when we're advocating, that this isn't about us. This is about the people that we support. I'd like to now introduce Christina Baptista, who is a supported employment career coach for Skills of Rhode Island and a staunch advocate.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank Senator DiPalma, Representative Casimiro, and to all of those who have been in support of Bill S0782 and H5987. As an individual with a physical disability, I feel that it is critical to keep the conversation moving forward in regards to increasing the wages of those who care for individuals with disabilities, seniors, and children and families. I am delighted to see progress has been made, but services are still not being provided to all of those who are in need. This is due to wait lists being so lengthy. Right now, there are just not enough individuals who are applying to jobs within the human service sector. Why, you ask? I feel this is mainly because the pay is just not fair. If we want people who are dedicated, committed, empathetic, and understanding, then wages need to continue to increase. I want a personal care assistant who is willing to go the extra mile for me. I want to continue living independently and participate in my community. I enjoy serving on multiple boards, and I enjoy working as a supported employment coordinator for Skills Rhode Island. None of this would be possible if there were not great people in the world such as personal care assistants. I want to be able to provide them with the money that they can live a good life. I want them to be able to purchase new cars and go on vacations. I want them to get better pay because PCAs are my lifeline. I value and respect them. By increasing the hourly wage, this can be my way of showing my workers that I want them to have the best life possible because they are giving me the best life possible. Thank you.
She is the CEO of Tide Family Service, and her organization consistently serves our community each and every day.
Thank you, Tina. I first want to start off by thanking our legislative champions, Senator DiPalma and Representative Casimiro. The last several years and well beyond that, they have been helping us be a louder voice here at the State House and really advocating for the people that we serve as well as our staff. One of the things that I think is really critical to make a point is we really need to invest in our young people and really focus on strengthening our communities. I think that a lot of the crisis that we're seeing following the pandemic really existed before, and the pandemic really challenged us to really come forward, but we are now seeing all the critical gaps that existed before, but the demand is much higher, given the social isolation and anxiety that has been a byproduct of that. My colleagues in the field and my own organization, we continue to face workforce challenges. We're unable to respond to the needs of kids and families. I looked at our wait list last night. We have 84 families on our wait list, which is, we are a large organization statewide, but 84 families who are waiting for help is just unnecessary. It's leaving families without support, and the demand is increasing. One of the things that's happening is we're relying on the child welfare system and the juvenile justice system, as well as the criminal justice system and emergency personnel to pick up the pieces, when we could be using less costly interventions that have positive outcomes to help support individuals and not getting involved in the system. One of the things that's happening, I think everyone has seen the media, is the mental health crisis of children and kids being boarded at emergency departments. Parents are going there as a last resort because there's no other assistance for them, and no parent wants to sit in an ED all night, and by the time they get there, there's been lost wages for the parent, holes in walls, you name it, a lot of different challenges. You know, some of the calls that we're getting, we've had a 5-year-old who is suicidal. We have teenagers who are intentionally overdosing on over-the-counter medications, requiring medical beds. And one of the things that we're also seeing is an increase in youth violence, because youth are struggling with life issues, poverty issues, and we're unable to respond as a community because we don't have the workforce to really work with these young people. That's why here today we ask for everyone to support the bills that Senator DiPalma and Representative Casimiro have put forward, and really focus on investing in our workforce so we can invest in young people and adults and everyone across the lifespan. So thank you everyone for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. Now I'm going to introduce Carrie Miranda. She is the CEO of Looking Upwards in Middletown, Rhode Island. Carrie.
Good afternoon. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to speak on this very important day of action. I would like to extend a special thank you to Senator DiPalma and Representative Casimiro, who are the sponsors of this important bills. Thank you for your tireless dedication to the critical service for the most vulnerable Rhode Islanders. I say the most important Rhode Islanders as well, if I would like to add that. We are lucky to have you in our corner. You not only listen to our concerns, you take action. As Director of Looking Upwards, a Newport County-based nonprofit to provide services statewide from birth right through end of life for children and adults with intellectual disabilities, I see firsthand the impact the funding decisions made by our General Assembly have had on services. Funds equal essential staffing supports that children, their families, and adults need to live safely and independently in their communities. For many years, these services experienced cuts or no funding increases, which meant agencies found themselves in staffing crisis after staffing crisis. I am grateful for the work of our legislature to restore funding in these necessary programs so that we may address our dire staffing shortage, whether it be at the direct support professional level, where we have a duty to pay a living wage, or for our early intervention clinical staff, who have opportunities for greater wages in other fields such as education or in neighboring state, Massachusetts, for the same work. We are making progress and we can't stop here. Rhode Island has the opportunity to be at the forefront of many important social justice issues that impact individuals with disabilities from birth and throughout their lives. To do this, people should not have to fight for the basic resources to meet their needs. Again, thank you, Senator DiPalma and Representative Casimiro, for the work you do and are doing to make this possible.
Thank you, Carrie, and thank you everyone who spoke today. It was an amazing event, amazing turnout of all the advocates and allies in this room that know how important this work is, and we have to advocate. And I know all of you are ready to go on the House floor and meet all your representatives, but I have one last special guest who is going to lead us in something.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for the empowering and very humbling words. My name is Key O'Donnell from the Fogarty Center, and I have a confession to make. I am not the special guest. However, I do have the unique opportunity of acknowledging somebody who will tell you that he does not want the attention, but is very deserving of it. On his 34th or 35th birthday, is it? I ask for all your help. Let's use our baritones and our pipes to sing a big old happy birthday. And we're going to use Lou, not Senator DiPalma, as you would want, because it rhymes and it's less syllables. So if you'd all please join me, let's celebrate a very good man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lou. Happy birthday to you. You can get me back later.